Hiring a builder is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make when starting to build your home. And it's not just about the labor costs. Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found the space. And if you've been following the journey so far, welcome back. You know that I'm on the journey of building a home for me and my child, and I'm sharing everything on the way to making that dream a reality. If you're also on a similar journey, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to check out my website, buildingmyhome.co.za, where you'll find tools, guides, and checklists to help you plan, save, and take those first steps in your own home building journey. The link is in the description. With that said, let's get started. Today's video is a big one. We're on the scout for a builder. As you know, I'd recently found land, and I'm now getting ready to start the process of building my home. And I have to make the big decision of hiring a builder. So I'm taking you with me as I scout different sites, talk to builders, and get quotations. I decided to take a very practical approach of scouting for a builder. That is driving around areas where there's a lot of construction happening, walk on sites, and speak to builders who are actively working. That way, I can see the quality of their work with my own eyes. I can see the straightness of the walls, the neatness of their work, and even how the site looks in general. Like those things, those little details can tell you a lot about how they'll treat your project. Of course, this isn't the only way to get quotations. Some people prefer asking family members and friends for recommendations. Others find builders on social media. Others approach hardware stores who know reliable builders that are busy in the area. There are different ways to approach builders and get quotations for your specific project. All the builders that I approached were happy to give me a free quotation just by looking at my house plan. But whichever route you take, I would say don't skip seeing their work in person, because a post on TikTok doesn't compare to a wall that's standing in front of you. Personally, I don't really trust references or photos. People can send you photos from anywhere, and let's be honest, sometimes they exaggerate. A builder will tell you that they've built this house when in fact they didn't do much of the work or didn't even build the house at all. That's why I decided to take this practical approach and drive around and see the work with my own eyes. Because, like I said, this is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make when starting the project of building your home. And it's not just about cost, the labor cost. It's about trust, skill, and whether someone can actually bring your vision to life. So you need to be sure about all of those things before you hire someone. As I was driving around this area, I saw homes that were beautifully built, and whenever I saw people outside, I would stop, greet them, and ask about the builder. This is actually one of my favorite methods because a homeowner has no reason to lie. They'll usually tell you straight if they were happy or disappointed with the builder. I also had the chance to walk through a house that hadn't yet had the roof installed. That experience was eye-opening. I could see the quality of the brickwork and finishes up close, but at the same time, it left me feeling a bit unsure about whether I'd want that particular builder for my own project. Still, I asked them to look at my house plan and give me a rough quotation. If you take this approach, you'll obviously see homes that are at different stages. Some are at foundation level, some have the walls built up to window level or even higher. Some already have roofs and some don't. Some windows, some no windows. That's what I like about this approach. And if you find the homeowner on site, even better. I also walked through this house that's currently under construction, and the owner shared something interesting. The people building the walls currently are not the same people who did the foundation. That really stood out to me because it shows that sometimes the builder you start with may not be the same one who finishes your project. For whatever reason, costs, disagreements, delays, or just availability. By the end of this day, I had managed to collect 4 different quotations, each with its own surprises, gaps, and extras. So let's unpack them together. For the purposes of ease and flow, we'll call them Builder 1, 2, 3, and 4. I asked them to break down the quotation into stages: the foundation, walls, roofing, and plastering. I also asked for quotations on the septic tank or the drain, as you know, and that is for the digging as well as the building. I'll share those as well. This is the quotation from Builder 1. This builder was quite vague with timelines. I had to keep pressing to ask how long they estimate the project would take. This is a quotation from Builder 2. What I liked about this was the transparency. They didn't just say 18,000 for plastering everything. They separated plastering for inside, outside, and the floor screed. This gives me a clearer sense of where the money will be going. This is the quotation from Builder 3. This quotation has tubing excluded. It's actually an extra for 1,500. This is the quotation from Builder 4. Definitely the most expensive of them all. That's why I put it last, so that we can digest it properly. He said that this is for the full house up to the roofing, which includes the slab foundation, walls, and the roof. Their plastering was quoted separately, but they said that if I decide to hire them, they could put the quotation into one full amount and give me a discount. Now for a bit of reflection. What shocked me in this process was how much builders differ, not just in price, but in how they approach certain things. For example, 2 builders told me that reinforcement at foundation level was optional. The others included it by default. Some, as you saw, included tubing with plastering, and others charged an extra amount for that. That's why I always say, don't just ask how much for the whole house or how much for 7 rooms or something like that. Break it down by stages. Ask for details, because that's where you catch the differences and also avoid surprises. I thought this would be good to also share with you. On this day, one of the builders that I saw actually came to do a site consultation. I have to admit, this has been incredibly valuable. Having a builder actually stand on the land with me, pointing out where the foundation would sit, how the slope and soil might affect costs, how much material would be needed, and stuff like that. That was really helpful. It went from being a house plan on paper to a real conversation about blocks, trenches, cement, and deliveries, and even where the septic tank would go. So we spoke about everything, including timelines, how long each stage would take. We spoke about payments and what that would look like, what would be needed up front, what could wait until the roof was on. It really gave me a lot of clarity.
Hey.
So that's where I am right now with the whole process. I hope walking you through these quotations gave you a clearer picture of the potential labor costs that come with building a 3-bedroom home or even something similar in size. Of course, every builder has their own way of pricing, and as you've seen, there are always little surprises, whether it's reinforcement, tubing, or plastering that suddenly becomes a separate cost. I hope that this helped prepare you somehow. In the next video, I'll be sharing the quotations I've gathered for materials, specifically for the foundation stage. I think that's going to be really eye-opening because labor is one side of the story, but materials tell a whole nother story about whether your budget might stretch or strain. So make sure you join me for that one. Thanks so much again for watching, and as always, I appreciate you being here with me on this journey. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.